I'm blessed and I'm thankful for my team who are like as committed as I am, and we believe in the sanctity of this business. We believe in the core values of this business, that it's food. We are the food provider.
In this video, I'm going to be talking to a big shot in restaurant and catering business. His rags to riches story has moved me, and I'm sure it will add value to your life. But hey, some of you are here for the first time. My name is Richa Dhodi, and you are here to get inspired. So if you're not subscribed yet, now's the time. My guest today owns 9 restaurants in New Jersey. He has the capacity to cater to 30 plus events on a weekend. Today he talks about his journey from manager to owner of the company. He talks about key components to expand business and what would he do differently if he went back in time. Let's welcome business mogul yet modest, owner of the Arora Group, Kamal Arora. So, hi Kamal, welcome to the show. I'm so glad that I could, talk to you and literally get started with talking to somebody who started from zero and has, established successfully in food business, and not only in business but is also doing great in his personal life.
Thank you, Richa. So glad to be here, and so glad to be on your show. So glad to see such positive, radiant, such a charming face. Definitely on this glooming day, it is bringing some shine and making me feel positive.
Thank you. So, Kamal, I read that, growing up, you were a foodie. You loved Indian food, kachoris, and, curry chawal and bangan bharta were your favorite. So, like, getting into the restaurant business, was it an organic decision, or, how did it happen? Because you were pursuing a career in IT, and then how did that jump happen?
Well, they say if something is meant to be, it always happens, right? If
Right.
this looks like was my destiny, I was always made to be in this business, and there was that phase where I was trying to go against God's will and trying different ventures, and after I graduated from Delhi University, and that back then the IT fever had just started in Delhi. You would see like everybody was growing these small little IT schools like NIT. You would remember some of them,
True.
Aptech, NIT, and so many others. I don't even remember the names. So I basically I had started my own IT company. We are talking about 99, 2000. And then after a year of starting in India, I came here because back then the biggest need for network professional was in United States. So obviously wanted to set up some kind of shop here. And by the time I secured my first ever contract, 9/11 happened. 9/11 happened, and that kind of just threw everything apart. So that was my IT career. That was the beginning and end of my IT career.
In the beginning, people always, hesitate to start their own business just because they have not had the right education, or they've not studied, but you did it totally different, and you started over here, joined a great restaurant at that time like Moghul Express. You got a great start from there. So tell us about that.
So this is now in 2004 where I started hunting for jobs locally. Every day back to New York City looking for job, and I was hell bent that I want a job in IT, but it did not happen. I came to a point where I had to now lean towards my second passion, which was always a food. I grew up in a foodie family. Food was always like my first love. But again, I mean, back then, if I would tell my parents in India, I come from a joint family. they would never agree for me to get into food business, right? I mean, it's
Yeah,
a typical,
was the big thing, and you
yeah,
all, like, everyone had to be an engineer and get into IT at
exactly.
that
So I
time.
did
Yeah.
tell my dad that I want to start a restaurant in Delhi. I was told no right away. Like, forget it, you're not.
Okay.
So now it was with no other option. I thought maybe the food business hardly goes out of recession. So started looking for something. Then I came in touch with the original owners of Moghul Mithaas, called them, spoke to them, and they said, okay, come over, let's see what we can do. And then back
Right.
then, their catering business was on the growth part. They
Okay.
were growing, they were looking for more people. And then they said, like, why don't you join us in catering? So I was supposed to join them in catering, and it so
Hmm.
happened, first day of my job, the existing manager at Mughal Express had to leave. And they were like, oh, listen, like, we were supposed to train you in catering business, but we have a situation. Mughal
Hmm.
Express is busy. It's a takeout restaurant. It was very small, but it was very busy. And
Okay.
they had started this Indian Chinese, which was very, very popular. And there were no one else on Oak Tree Road, or I would say in entire New Jersey, who was doing Indian Chinese back then.
Hmm.
So I was like, fine. I mean, whatever you tell me, beggars can't be choosers. So I ended up in Mughal Express, and I was told to manage that place. I didn't even know what my designation was, but I know is that by 10:30 the shop has to be ready, and you have to open the shop, you have to manage it, and you have to close it. So that's how I started.
Oh my God, that is such a story starting from an IT professional to losing everything to getting into, uh, how should I put it together? Like, it's very inspiring, Kamal, to be honest. It is. The limit is only in your thought, in your mind. That's the limit. That's it. There's no other limit, right? Would you agree?
Yeah.
Right.
So
So you got hired in Mughal Express. You were doing so great. They relied on you, they believed on you. You were at a good space.
mhm.
What then happened that you decided to, I don't want to be on the receiving end, but I want to be an entrepreneur myself. So I want to be the owner. How did that switch happen?
Well, I mean, see, the intention was not that I want to be the owner. The
Huh.
intention was that you could see as, I would say, like as a young dreamer or someone who could potentially see the future of the Indian food in this country. I was like, listen, we are worth much more. The entrepreneur in me wanted to go out, wanted to expand, wanted to do things differently, and wanted to grow parallelly in catering as well as in restaurants, both.
Hmm.
So that's when I decided that, you know what, it was a great opportunity. I will always be grateful, thankful to Metanis for giving me that platform. But it was time where we had to move on. I mean, that's right at that point where Mithaas was born, because that was my another dream to bring something from India, something that we grew up eating, experiencing, and I thought it was time to branch out. So that's how this whole thing started.
Exactly. Like you wanted a restaurant where, which is different from the existing Indian restaurants.
Mhm.
And but you also focused on, that it should not be a family run business or a family run restaurant. What do you think is why do you think it is a better model?
I don't know if it is a better model. I think whatever works for you becomes a model. In what I feel, but at that point, I thought it was what was needed. There was like Indian food was good. You would still get the best of butter chicken or best of palak paneer and all. But I think the way the population was growing, the Indian diaspora was growing, I think people wanted much more than that. I guess it was a game changer, right? The way we turned around the whole street food or the casual dining was much needed at that time, and it was a successful experiment, I would say.
Absolutely, Kamal. Like in my family, if anybody comes from India or my friends who come from Boston, it is a must that we visit Mithaas. Yes. So, uh, Tell me if I'm correct. In the beginning, when you started with Mithaas, you did not have plans of having more than one. You only thought of starting one Mithaas, and now you have five plus, and you have fine dining restaurant, Urban Spice, you have Arzu. So you scaled up, and talk to us about like how do you decide that this is the right time to scale up, and how do you do it? Like, do you need to partner with people, or do you need to raise money? How do you do it?
Well, definitely, like back then when this whole journey started, I couldn't have done it. I was again fortunate enough, and as I said, I'm a great believer that something when it's meant to be, God always makes a way for it. I found an investor who's more than anything to me right now. They blindly trusted me. They said, "We are with you. We see a plan. We see that you're making sense," and they blindly went in, all in with me. So fortunate. So the what you need to for a business, a concept, hard work, and capital. Capital is equally important, right? So I had the capital. I was willing to put in the hard work. I had the idea. I had the vision, and I was also blessed with a great team that I part of it I inherited and part of it I developed of my own. So we had all the ingredients to make any business successful. And it's not about just restaurant. In any business, you do need all these basic things.
Absolutely, so true. This is so relevant for any business and not just restaurant or catering industry. But when we talk about weddings, you have catered to weddings of some of the biggest names in US, and when I have my clients, especially from South Asian, my South Asian clients, they would have already planned, like a wedding catering testing session with Moghul. So
Mhm.
you are one of the most popular uh, people to reach out to in the wedding industry. How do you, like, what kind of a team do you require to handle 700 guests or more in wedding?
But I mean, more than 700 actually. I mean,
Yeah.
at this point, I can proudly say that Mughal catering is geared to cater to any volume, any size. I mean, weddings definitely require much more finesse, much more detailing. But when it comes to convention, we have catered for conventions up to 4,000, 5,000, 5,000 people, where the volume is huge. Conventions are normally like breakfast, lunch, dinner. The time limit, you have to follow the protocol. If the lunch break is an hour, beginning to end has to be an hour. Breakfast has to be on a certain window. So, and that's the infrastructure, and that's what I'm blessed, and I'm thankful for my team who are like as committed as I am, and we believe in the sanctity of this business. We believe in the core values of this business, that it's food. We are the food provider, and food elevates your mood, food elevates your speed, puts you in that mode, in that zone, whether it's a convention or it's a wedding or it's, let's say, it's a sangeet going on. I think it's that first bite that you get puts you in that mood to keep dancing all night, on and out.
Even at home, like when you suppose you're meeting somebody for the first time, food or cocktail, they are the icebreakers. That's when you can start a conversation or get to know somebody or get closer to somebody, whether it's a date or a wedding or a convention.
Yeah, yeah.
So you are masters of all. So
Yeah.
what are the real challenges of catering in weddings?
Uh, Challenges are, see, this is one business. I would say the dynamics are so unique. We don't work on certain set rules or certain algorithms or some. Every weekend, I would say every event is a new challenge. It's a new day for us. It could be, we could be catering at a particular venue where we've been going for years. We are going there every weekend, but still each event can be so different from the one we did a week before.
I can totally relate to what you're saying, because even in our industry, it is just the same. If I'm doing a wedding, I'm doing a wedding at the same venue, let's say, every month. But every event is so different. Client is different, their requirement is different, and how they are going to react to your services and your look, that is so different. So I totally can relate to that thought. So tell me, like, you have come so far from where you started. What would the Kamal of today advise to Kamal of, let's say, 10 years back? What is, let's say, okay, let's put it like that. If you had to start it today, what is one thing that you would do differently?
I think if
Yeah.
I was to start today, I would strike a balance. It's really, really important to strike a balance between your personal life and your professional life. Uh, they two are interrelated, but the happy you are at home, the happiness that you get spending time with your family, with your kids, with your parents if they are with you, and then you go back to the work, it just that stress suddenly goes away, and that's what keeps me going. I mean, this
Yeah,
even
I
doing.
mean, now you have a great balance. You have a nice social life, and you spend time with your family. You go out on vacation. So yes, we do see that now. But like, okay, so as the Shake Shack founder says, Daniel Meyer, he said that he's in the business of hospitality.
Mhm.
What do you think is the most important ingredient in a restaurant business?
Well, I think we are no different than any other social work. It's a service. We are in a service industry. Hospitality is also called as service industry. Like, so a big smile is very, very important. Willing to listen to your customer is very, very important. And then serving them with a smile is very, very important. So if you are someone who is short tempered, who cannot, because at the end of the day it's customer, right? It's our customers who drive our work, our industry, who drives us.
True.
That and that's again going back to striking that balance. There are small little things that I mean, again, when I started off so young, I used to get irritated. I had anger issues, but then I realized that I shouldn't be in this industry. If they have, so there are. I think that the biggest quality that one needs to have is to learn how to be calm, how to be willing to listen, how to
Hmm.
listen and deliver. So,
That is beautiful. I think budding entrepreneurs are going to, get a little bit out of that. And since they're budding, they're also new to this phase. And we all, as we grow, early on, we have our egos, we have our own, that I know what I'm doing kind of feeling.
right.
And with that sane advice, I think we grow a milestone. So, Kamal, moving on, we got a chance to speak to Kiran,
Oh, you did.
and some of your secrets have been spilled. I'll
Oh,
ask you
God.
a few questions. Let's see how you perform.
Hmm.
Okay, so yeah, I've heard that you are a excellent food critique, especially after the lockdown.
Yes, I mean, yes and no. I mean, I obviously I appreciate and admire the hard work that goes behind cooking even the simplest food. But yes, I mean, one thing I cannot stand in my life is bad food. So,
So, okay, so talking about bad food, do you know how to cook?
yes, I do. I mean, if I don't know how to cook, then I wouldn't have any rights to criticize a good or bad or average food.
So, there's a little test for you, Kamal,
Oh God.
coming right your way.
Okay.
Okay, tell me, in dal makhni, are you supposed to add green chilies or red chilies? Quick.
You're supposed to add the degi mirch that I add. That's what I do, just to
Okay.
give it that color, just to give that. But there are a lot more that you need to add too. But I add the degi mirch in that to give it that brownish kind of the cinnamony color.
We'll take that. Okay, so for Batura, do you need to leave the dough to ferment? How many hours?
I, oh my God, I didn't even know this was coming my way.
I had
Wow.
to catch you somewhere. You are caught
Okay.
red-handed now.
All right. So the dough needs to be. I would like to leave it for minimum 6 to 8 hours in a room temperature. Cover it with a cloth and leave it on a room temperature.
Oh my God, you're passing all of that. Okay, Mr. Head Chef. Okay, little bit on your personal side. Tell me, does Kiran like you with beard or without?
That's the question actually I've been asking her, and she was like, hmm. So I don't know what that means.
Okay, so yes, this is the answer that I have. Earlier, she liked you without facial hair, but now she does like beard on you.
Okay, so
You got
probably
it.
I should go.
Thank you, Kamal. Thank you so much. Say hi and thanks, Karan, for talking to us.
Sure.
And Kamal, I just want to say that I know that you wanted to come up with a place where, Indians can feel proud of and take their, fellow American friends to a very authentic dining place. And you have truly come up with a place that we can feel proud of. Thank
Thank
you
you.
so much.
Thank you so much for talking to me.
Absolutely.
Definitely feels better, and this is the best we can do. Motivate each other, talk about good things, talk about good memories, and hope and pray that life gets back to normal very soon. Until
Very
then,
soon.
stay safe, keep spreading the good message, and
Yes.
all the best with
And
the
I'm
show.
going to meet you very soon. Until then, take care, stay
Take care.
safe, and keep smiling. Bye. Kamal broke it down to something very simple that serving with a big smile and really listening to your customer can take you a long way. If you found our conversation valuable, please subscribe. I will be here next week with another entrepreneur from the wedding industry. See you all then.